Hello everybody and welcome back to Fate Extra. Now, in the last episode I think I may have used the for the commentary audio the commentary audio file, I think I may have used the unedited one, which I keep in case of emergencies. By that I mean it didn't have the, I think I used the one that didn't have the noise removal applied to it, because I noticed there was quite a loud, a noticeable fan that could be heard, besides the one in game that happens sometimes. But here's the EXE horn, which is exactly like the original essentially. For a few of the beginning battles I use a lot of healing items because I'm not sure of their damage potential. They really, I don't think I was ever really damaged too much by those EXE horns, so I don't think you should really worry about them too much. Perhaps if you're a lower level than me, you might want to use healing items. I was trying to say healing, but heating was coming up, which is why I stuttered there. Now, you don't have to do all your grinding in one day. I'm sure that's kind of obvious, but do as much grinding as you can in one day, and when you start running out of healing items, MP, and that kind of stuff, then that's when you should start heading out. And get another EXE horn. Again, they're not tough at all, but the reason that I'm being paranoid here in this recording. Not too sure what to say. I mean, I guess I have more stuff to say, but with regards to this battle, I've already mentioned everything about the EXE horns last episode, I believe, so there's not much else for me to say about this particular enemy. They are good for grinding experience though, and I used them a lot when I was grinding in this floor. What is it? At the end of the day, it says, what was it? Something level. It shows you like the level I guess you should be. And it says 14. I mean, I guess it's possible to beat the boss, you know, to beat Archer at level 14, but I wouldn't recommend getting level 14 and being satisfied with that. You're gonna have a really tough time. With Caster especially, if you have Caster, you really should be grinding. Saber and Art and you know, the other Archer, not Dan's Archer, is you should be fine with those two. You might be able to, you have an easier time with them at lower levels. Not with Caster though. You're probably gonna have to do grinding with Caster a lot more than with the other characters. At the beginning anyway. I left that battle in, huh? I meant to cut that out. Oh well, the next one should be cut out. Yeah, there we go. I must have, when I was editing this, I must have missed that bone battle. I believe I do show one fish bite battle because they're still an annoying enemy to fight. I can't really understand their pattern, but that's probably me just not really paying attention. They're good for experience too, as I said before for grinding, but you might want to grind up to be a bit of a higher level before you start fighting these fish heads or fish bites. I forget what they're called. An ether fragment, I believe, is a better version of the, you know, the ether healing line, I guess you could call it. You can get them as drops in this arena floor. So if you wanna, I guess you could grind up arena fragments here if you want a better healing item. You really shouldn't need them for the boss fight. Well, I call it elimination battle at the end of the week. Because overall, it's actually easier. It's not easy if you don't know what Archer is doing. But I did some research, and Dan's servant he does one I don't know, attack option all the time, and I'll go more, you know, in depth on that later. If you really want to finish off these fish fights fast with caster, I recommend just using skills, because those are pretty much the surefire way of killing it. You'll lose MP, but if you just want to finish them off and these when you're lower level, then you might want to use skills a lot more. I believe I'm still exploring this floor, right? Yeah, I'm still exploring this floor, so I wasn't sure of what other enemies would actually be in here. So I was afraid of meeting up with a stronger enemy than those fish heads there, but I never actually do meet up with a stronger enemy than those fish bites. I keep calling them fish heads or fish bites. I'm pretty sure they're fish bites. Anyway, here is the taiga item that you needed to find. Again, it won't appear there if you don't. I may have mentioned this. I may not have. But if you haven't talked to Taiga and accepted her request, that item will not be there. Don't worry. I didn't mean to use that. Don't worry about using healing items. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of money, and you'll be able to easily purchase more healing items. I don't know why I bothered using those MP restoring items. I did use it, but perhaps I should have waited. Nah, I think I made a good decision there. Because look at Caster's HP. That was quite an interesting battle. I left that out. I probably should have not cut all the other fish bite battles out and left that one in, but it doesn't matter. Again, more insanities. They shouldn't be an issue for you at this point. And up here is the cipher code for this floor. You need to have activated the switch that I activated in the last episode to be able to get the cipher key. If you haven't done that, go and do that. In this day, I don't believe there's anything real interesting about the arena, so you should devote this day to exploring the arena rather than grinding in it. Grinding, I still would recommend grinding. But if you really don't want to do it, I guess you don't have to. I go back here just to fill up the map because I like having everything filled out. Now, how I would recommend just doing a circle around the map to get enemies to respawn. So go through for grinding. So just go around the map, like around the edges of the map. Of course, go into the center of the map to fight some of those EXE horns. Executable horns, I guess you could call them. But yeah, just go around the map, go in the center when the enemies respawn. That's essentially what you should be doing for grinding. Enemies should respawn if you go around the entirety of the map. And I believe this is where I cut for the grinding. Oh, nope, looks like I don't cut. Huh, guess I didn't do grinding that day. Thought I did. Must have done it the next day. And with that, we got 100% on the second floor. So there isn't any special event that goes on there that would prevent you from getting 100%. I believe in the first week when we were fighting against Shinji's servant, the reason I didn't get 100% in the treasure hunt minigame with Shinji and his servant was because I didn't get all the pirate booties. So don't worry about getting 100% in all the weeks in that results screen there, because there might be some events that you simply cannot get 100% on because you're not in New Game Plus. In New Game Plus, you should have no problem beating Shinji and his server in that minigame, because there's an item that you can get that makes you move really freaking fast. Alright. Yeah. I like Dan. I mean, Dan is a guy who, goes by his beliefs. And he wouldn't do anything that would, I don't want to say threaten. That he wouldn't do anything that would go against his own morals. Which is, I guess I can connect to that. I don't like doing things that go against, my morals, because if I do, it really weighs down on me, and the guilt just gets to me. So I really couldn't do anything that goes against my morals. So giving Ronnie the items we collected in the first floor of the arena is necessary. If you haven't done that, you won't be getting Master Servant rank, the Matrix level E. In regards to Dan's servant there. Still saying I noticed, but I've been trying to catch myself, and it's kind of hard. Because you will say it without realizing it. You will try to realize it, but then that interrupts the flow of your speech. So that's why there's a lot of times where I'm trying to speak and I pause. That's because I catch myself about to say and I really don't want to. I guess as I keep doing this, eventually I'll be able to speak without saying but there we go again. Anyway, let's pay attention to the game now, shall we? Mhm. So it looks like Dan Servant wanted to live an honest life somewhat. And he always lived his life in the shadows. So that's interesting. You know, there's a nice feeling of being prepared, you know? It's kind of hard to explain. For me, I like being prepared if I can, or I like to get ahead if I can. Especially in schoolwork. If I can, because what I like doing is if I can't finish something early, I like to finish early and then just do whatever I want in the classroom. That's what I like doing a lot. And I did that, and I did that near the end of last school year, and it was. Say that again. And for the last few weeks, I was just there not doing anything because I had done all my work. And that was interesting. Originally, I didn't really like grinding in games, but that was when I was younger, when I really didn't have the internet or knew of YouTube. So grinding would be the thing I despised the most. I still kind of despise it. But now it's a little bit easier since I could just, you know, put on a video, watch that while I'm grinding. So I'm doing, I guess, like I'm doing something stimulating while doing something monotonous. I don't really enjoy grinding. I mean, I will do it if it's necessary. Even then, in games like in Persona 4, I despised it and did not do it at all. Surprisingly enough, I was able to defeat the enemies. I was able to beat the game with nothing really hard. With no issue, I guess you could say. Yeah, that'd be better. I was able to beat the game with no issue. Because in all the guides I looked up, it would say be the same level as the highest leveled enemy. Oh god, I'll be right back, guys. Back on to Persona 4, so I can actually talk about something. In a lot of the guides I looked up, or you know, in a lot of the boards, forums that talked about it, like it was often, I don't know why I said like there, it was often said that you should be the same level as the highest leveled shadow in whatever dungeon you were in, and I was usually always 10 levels below. And there were times where I couldn't beat the boss, but I still was able to beat the boss after grinding for only 1 or 2 levels. And debuffs and buffs were your savior in that game. The main character, Yu, was the person that buffed everybody in my playthrough. Izanagi, which was recommended in a lot of the guides I've seen, a lot of the guides, it was recommended that you just fuse them off right, you fuse them right off the bat, but that didn't feel right to me, so there's no reason to keep him necessarily. But I kept him, and I buffed him up. Oh, I buffed him up so much. He had all debuffs, he had everything. He even had an ability which absorbed physical damage. So that was great. That was fun. The game was pretty fun. If I ever do get a Vita capture card, I may do a playthrough of Persona 4 Golden. Jesus. Kind of wish a Persona 3 remake came out for the Vita, but it's kind of impossible to. Not impossible. It's unlikely that'll happen considering a remake happened for the PSP already. I like to see one for the PS Vita. Maybe even PS4, but I like portable game. I like to play my games portably a lot more than playing on console because I just like to pick up and play games. So that's why I tend to use my Vita a lot for games. I don't know why I took out my box of Persona 4 Golden while I was talking. There was really no need for me to do that. I have it in my hand, which is, if you hear that little sound, that's me just shaking the box. Yeah, but I would like a Vita port of Persona 3 Feds with, this is the mechanics of Persona 4. The reason I tried playing Persona 3 Fez and I couldn't get into it because of the because of the battle system. Persona 4 is so much better than Persona 3. So much better. And hey, I found this this little banter between Archer and Cassie here insanely funny. Getting back to the game, I found it funny. Anyway, there's I should be talking about this while I'm playing like Persona 4, but I'm talking about it now. Alright, let's get back to the game, shall we? Guys, I'm getting off topic again. Yeah, originally I was thinking of getting a 3DS capture card first, but now I'm thinking about to get a Vita capture card first because there's a lot of games I would like to play on my Vita that I could do, and then I mean. There's not a lot of people out there that I know that do Vita games. There's one channel that I saw, but he only he plays it a little bit, talks about the game. He does he doesn't do playthroughs. He essentially just shows out the game for people to know how the game's like. I was certainly gonna Vita capture card and start recording games for it. Yeah. Now Archer here, he does a lot of guard. So more often than not, just do break, and you should be fine. He does a lot of his skills on his second move there. So if you have the Exorcist Blade, then just do that there. I really don't know how to fight him at this point, so that's why I am a bit having a bit of trouble here. You really don't need any remedies for this battle unless you're a really lower level than me, because just healing is more often than not the best way to go. When you're actually fighting Archer, the best thing to do is to prevent him from actually poisoning you at all. So in that battle, I don't think I was poisoned at all. But we'll talk more about that when we get to the actual fight with Archer there. Yeah, oh yes, I suppose I should mention this now. I am going to be doing walkthroughs of Xenoblade Chronicles X and Fire Emblem X Shin Megami Tensei whenever those games come out. Maybe not on the same day as they come out, but eventually I will do that because I am interested in those games. I did play Xenoblade Chronicles X. I never finished it. I was close to finishing it, but then, you know, I was gonna go back into it, but then I saw Choga Conroy started doing his own playthrough of it, so I just watched his playthrough because he'd do a lot more than I do in that game. So I saw how the game ended. So eventually I will do walkthroughs of those games. They'll be post like this one. I mean, I feel that this is better because I often talk about things that might seem interesting to some people. Because often than not, when I did live, it was just talking about what was going on, and I rarely talked about other things. And when I did, I'd often lose track of what was going on. And I didn't cut out random battles because I don't know, because I guess I didn't want to. But doing posts, I feel that it's necessary. Feel. I mean, I'm watching this video here along, like, when I'm, like, I don't know why I say that too. When I'm doing this commentary here. But it seems odd sometimes. I don't know how to explain it because I don't know where I was going with that. But sometimes it's just a bit odd. Because I'm seeing things I do in the past. And sometimes I don't even remember what I was doing there. Which is why it's kind of odd. Because I think I would keep going on, but then I do something weird. And I can't remember why. But either way, I'll see you guys again next time. Whenever that is. Bye.